Welcome to the Hustle Report by Profit Duel, the podcast that delves into the side hustles that could make you money. Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into event planning, as a side hustle.
Right.
This is really for you if you're, let's say, super organized, maybe got a creative streak, and you actually like structure.
Structure is key here.
Exactly. We're
Yeah.
looking at how you can take those skills, that organization, and use it to coordinate, say, small to medium events, think weddings, corporate things,
And
parties.
turn it into some extra income.
That's the goal.
Yeah, and our mission today is really to, get past the shiny photos you see online.
Right, the perfect Instagram wedding.
Exactly that. We need to break down the practical steps. What do you actually need to do to launch this?
And what can you realistically earn?
Yes, the money part. And crucially, a reality check.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, juggling vendors, deadlines, and a day job, it gets intense.
It sounds like pressure cooker moments are guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely. You need to be ready for that.
So fundamentally, you're the conductor of this whole orchestra.
That's a good way to put it. You're managing the whole life cycle. The planning, the logistics, keeping an eye on the budget, making sure it all happens on the day.
And if you pull it off, you've made something really memorable for the client, which is a big part of the appeal, I think.
For sure. That's probably the biggest initial draw. When we look at why people get into this, flexibility is huge for a side hustle.
You choose the gigs.
Precisely. You work around your main schedule. That's non-negotiable if you have other commitments.
Yeah, and you can kind of filter clients, too. Maybe avoid the ones that feel like a bad fit.
You absolutely can and probably should.
And beyond just fitting it in your schedule, there's the creative side. That must keep it interesting.
Definitely. It's not just logistics. You get to bring ideas to life, design experiences, turn someone's vision into a real thing.
And seeing the client happy at the end, that must be pretty rewarding.
That's the personal satisfaction payoff right there. You see their joy, you know your hard work paid off, it feels good.
But thinking more strategically long-term, is the biggest asset the experience itself or something else?
That's a great question. I'd argue the network you build is maybe even more valuable long-term.
The vendors, caterers, photographers.
Well, all of them. Florists, venue managers, DJs. You're constantly interacting with these local professionals.
So what's the strategic angle there, especially for a side hustle?
Well, think about it. If you treat these vendors well, pay them fairly, they'd essentially become your referral engine.
Ah, like an outsourced marketing team.
Exactly. Their word-of-mouth referrals can often bring in maybe 70% of your early business. Way more than just a website sometimes. Building that trust is gold.
Okay, so that covers the why. People are drawn in by flexibility, creativity, satisfaction, networking. Let's switch to the how. What skills do you absolutely need, and what does the process look like typically?
Right. Beyond just being enthusiastic. You need, four core things, really. First two are foundational. Strong organization and communication. Can't do it without those.
Obvious, but crucial.
Totally. But then, equally important, budget management. You have to be good with numbers and confident vendor negotiation.
Negotiation. That can be tough for some people.
It can be. But if you're hesitant about negotiating contracts or pushing back on timelines, your profit margin just disappears fast.
Okay, so you need those skills. What's the first step with a client?
It always starts with a discovery meeting. You sit down, you listen, understand their vision, their budget, what absolutely has to happen.
That first brief sets the whole direction.
It really does. From there, you move into detailed planning mode, creating the actual plan, coordinating all the moving parts, logistics, vendors, timelines.
And then the big day itself.
Then overseeing the execution, making sure everything runs smoothly. And the key, really stressed across the board, is meticulous attention to detail.
That sounds like the only way to keep stress down, especially juggling this with another job.
Exactly. It minimizes surprises and helps you manage multiple clients without, losing your mind.
Okay, that detail-oriented approach sounds great, but you mentioned stress earlier. That personal satisfaction must have a flip side. Let's dive into that reality check.
Yeah, we have to, because the stress is real and it's probably the biggest hurdle. You need to go in with your eyes open.
First up, time.
Time commitment, absolutely. The planning phases might seem manageable, spread out, but the weeks leading up to an event and the event weekend itself, it ramps up massively.
Like how much?
Well, think about a Saturday wedding. You're likely on call or actively working from maybe Thursday evening right through Sunday morning for cleanup or wrap-up. You need a support system, someone who gets that you'll be unavailable.
And unlike, say, freelance writing, you can't just shift your hours. The wedding is on Saturday at 2 p.m., period.
Exactly. The deadlines are fixed.
Yeah.
A corporate event isn't going to move because you had a rough week at your main job.
Which leads right into the pressure cooker point.
Right. Strict deadlines, high pressure. You might be coordinating 10 different vendors, all with their own schedules and potential issues.
And if you have more than one event overlapping.
Then the pressure is constant, and you have to plan for things going wrong. Because they do.
Like what? What are the common disasters?
Last-minute vendor cancellations are a big one. Unexpected no-shows, equipment failures, weather issues for outdoor events, and importantly, liability stuff. What if someone gets injured? What if property gets damaged? You need the right insurance. That's not optional.
Okay, that's a whole different level of risk compared to something like, I don't know, selling crafts online.
Much higher stakes. You're managing potential failures from many different people and businesses, not just yourself.
And then there's the client side of the stress, managing their expectations.
Huge challenge.
Right.
You mentioned turning their vision into reality. But what if their vision costs, say, $10,000 and their budget is $1,000?
Yeah, that happens. Requires some diplomacy.
It requires knowing how to say no gracefully or how to offer realistic alternatives. Strong communication isn't just about updates. It's about managing those hopes, aligning with the budget and timeline without ruining the relationship. That's a skill you have to develop.
Okay, that paints a very realistic picture of the challenges, which brings us right to the money. After dealing with all that time commitment, the stress, the potential disasters, what's the financial upside? How much can you actually make?
Well, it can be quite lucrative as extra income. Looking at the numbers, the average hourly rate for someone doing this on the side falls somewhere between, say, $25 and $100 an hour.
Wow, that's a really wide range, $25 versus $100. How does someone starting out know where they fit?
Good question. It really comes down to three main things. Location is one, big city, rates are higher. Experience is another, obviously. More experience equals higher rates. And then event complexity.
What makes an event complex?
Okay, so if you're charging near the $25 mark, you're probably doing simpler things. Standard birthday parties, maybe very small company lunches, low liability gatherings.
Gotcha. And the $100 an hour person.
They're specializing. They're handling complex, maybe high-profile stuff. Large weddings with intricate logistics like guest accommodation and travel. Corporate conferences with multiple tracks and speakers. Niche events requiring specific knowledge, like maybe a sustainable tech expo.
Higher stakes, more moving parts, more liability.
Exactly. So the rate reflects that complexity and risk. The key takeaway is research your local market rates, be honest about your current experience level, and price yourself based on the value you provide for that specific type of event.
That makes sense. Segmenting the market like that is really helpful. Okay, so if someone's listened to all this, they understand the appeal, they understand the stress, they see the financial potential, and they still want to jump in. What's the practical blueprint? What are the first steps?
Right, let's get actionable. We can break it down into about 6 steps. Think of the first 3 as kind of setting your foundation, more internal focus, and the last 3 are about getting out there external growth.
Okay, let's do the foundation first. Step 1.
Step 1, determine your niche. This is crucial. Don't try to be the planner for everything. Figure out what you actually enjoy and where your skills are strongest. Is it weddings, corporate events, kids' parties, maybe themed events?
Focusing helps you get good faster.
Precisely. And it makes your marketing way clearer. People know what you do.
Okay, niche decided. Step 2.
Step 2, build a portfolio. Nobody hires an event planner based on enthusiasm alone. You need proof.
But if you're just starting?
Use events you've already organized successfully, even personal ones like a big family reunion or a friend's milestone party if they were well executed. Or create detailed mock-up plans. Show potential clients, sample budgets, timelines, vendor lists for hypothetical events. You need to show you're organized and creative.
Makes sense. Show, don't just tell. And step 3 leans into that networking piece we discussed.
Step 3, establish your network. Yes, start connecting now. Reach out to local venues you like, caterers whose food you've tried, photographers whose style fits your niche. Build relationships with reliable vendors. A strong, vetted network is your safety net when things get stressful.
Foundation set. Niche, portfolio, network. Now the external growth. Step 4 goes back to money.
Step 4, set your pricing. Back to the money. Do that local research we talked about. Set competitive prices, but don't undersell yourself. Factor in your experience and the value you're bringing. This is where many side hustlers trip up pricing too low.
It undermines your value and your profit.
Yeah.
Okay, pricing set. Now you need people to pay it. Marketing.
Step 5. Market your services. Get the word out. Use social media, but strategically showcase your work, your style. Build a simple, professional-looking website. Network in your community, local business groups, parent groups, whatever fits your niche.
Any tips for getting those first few clients?
Yeah, consider offering an introductory package or a small promotion for your first, say, 3 clients. It helps build momentum and gets you those crucial early testimonials and portfolio pieces.
Smart. And the final step involves using tech.
Step 6. Utilize online platforms. Leverage tools that already exist. Things like Eventbrite, Meetup, Thumbtack. But use them smartly.
How so?
Well, Eventbrite is great for events where you need ticketing or registration, like workshops or maybe small public festivals. Meetup can be good for finding leads for corporate team building or recurring community events. Thumbtack might be better for smaller one-off private parties like birthdays. They reach different audiences. Use them to expand your reach and streamline things like signups.
Okay. That's a really clear 6-step path. Niche, portfolio, network, pricing, marketing platforms. It feels manageable broken down like that.
Yeah, the structure helps.
So wrapping it all together, the main takeaway seems to be event planning can be a really rewarding side hustle. Fulfilling even, but you need that dedication, the creativity, definitely those top-notch organizational skills.
And you need to be mentally prepared for the unpredictable nature of it. The stress spikes are real.
It's definitely not passive income.
Not at all. It's active, demanding, but potentially very lucrative if you approach it professionally. Success really hinges on improving your skills constantly and nurturing those vendor relationships.
We've really dug into event planning today, which is so focused on service, managing people, managing expectations. It's very hands-on with clients and vendors.
Very relationship-driven.
Right. But for those of you listening who might find that constant interaction, that people management aspect, maybe a bit draining, it's worth remembering the sheer variety of side hustles out there. We cover lots of different paths. The interesting thought here maybe is, with event planning, are you just planning events? Or are you actually building this incredibly valuable network of local professionals? Maybe something you could leverage for a completely different career move down the line, something to think about.
That's a great point. The network itself has value beyond just event gigs.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for today. We'll see you back on the Hustle Report soon.